Hello guys, welcome to Study IQ. I'm Safir. In this session, we are going to make a comparison between Nagara style of temple architecture and the Dravida style of temple architecture. So basically we are going to compare the South Indian style of temple architecture and the North Indian style of temple architecture. So this is going to be a very important topic. As such, the comparison they can ask you in mains, and they can also ask you the question within prelims as well. So you need to have a very good clarity about the South Indian temple architecture and the North Indian temple architecture, which is Nagara style as well as Dravida style. So what we will do is, we will first talk about the stages of development, and we will see what was the three different stages of development in Nagara style or the North Indian temple architecture, and then we will talk about the four stages of development in the South Indian temple architecture. So that's about the stages of development, and then we will discuss what exactly this Nagara style is all about, and then what is Dravida style is all about. And we also have to discuss the variations. That's when the comparison is going to be complete, but I will be discussing that in the next session. So we will be comparing the variations of Nagara style, like we'll talk about Odisha style, we'll talk about the Chandela style, we'll talk about the Solanki style or the Gujarat style. And when it comes to variations of Dravida style, that is the Vijayanagar and then the Nayaka style. So these five I will be discussing together separately as the variations of Nagara as well as Dravida. Okay, so that I will be doing in the next session. So today I will be talking about the stages of development of North Indian and South Indian temple architecture. 3 stages in North Indian, 4 stages in South Indian, and then exactly what is Nagara and Dravida style with the diagram. In fact, we have done this, so it is going to be very easy for me, rather than, I don't want to write anything just before. I have done this video already, so everything is there with me in the system, so I don't want to write anything. So guys, let's start with the stages. So when we talk about the stages of development, I'll be starting with temple architecture in North India. So there are 3 stages, as I've told you. The first stage, you will see, it's like a flat roof square temple. So square temple, like you can see in this diagram, you need to draw the diagram in each of the cases, remember, and you also need to write examples for each of the cases, and I'll be discussing examples also for each of the cases. And this is what you need. You don't want to read anything else beyond this for this particular topic, both for prelims as well as mains. It's a waste of time, because anyway we are putting that effort, so you can save your time at least when you are spending this 20 minutes or 25 minutes with me. So this flat roof square temple, that is the first stage, and shallow pillared approach. What do you mean by shallow pillared? The pillars, you can see here the pillars, but these are not in-depth pillars for the strength or the, it is just for decoration purpose, okay? So it is not that in-depth pillar for giving the strength to the structure. So low platform, it is made on a low platform. And example that we can discuss for this is temple number 17, Sanchi, and then the Kankali Devi temple, Tikawa. So just remember that. So here the deity will be kept like that. So this is the first stage. Second stage, you will see that flat roof square temple will be continued, but there will be changes in the pillar. So there the pillar is going to be strong and in-depth pillar to give strength to the architecture. That means the structure. Okay, and that's the difference. So, and it will be made on an upraised platform. So let me show you that. So flat roof square type, it is continued, and the in-depth pillars are there for supporting the structure to give the strength to the structure, and an upraised platform. Earlier it was low platform. Now there is ambulatory passage around the sanctum and sanctorum. That's the Garbhagriha, right? That's where the deity of the temple is kept. And I've told about this Panchayatan style, right? In that Panchayatan style, 1+4 way is how you keep the gods, the main deity, main god, and the subsidiary god. So around the main god, you will have an ambulatory passage, okay? And then you can talk about this as the example, Parvati temple, Nachna Kutara, okay? So this is how it is, and the pillars are strong here. Now the third stage, if you see, the second stage, whatever is there, that will be continued. That means it will be flat roof, okay? And then there will be a curvy linear tower which is going to be attached with this. Like you can see here, flat roof, and here the deity will be there, and this is the curvy linear tower which is going to be attached, and this curvy linear tower is what you call as shikhara. Okay, so this is shikhara, and this is marking or starting the beginning of Nagara style of temple architecture. So when you see the Nagara style, you will be seeing that shikhara. Example, Vishnu temple at Diogat, brick temple. Okay, so these are two examples which you can write. So for each of the three cases, I have given the diagram. For each of the three cases, I have given the example, I have given the content also. So if you get a question in mains, you can probably explain very well the stages of development of temple architecture in North India. And the third style led to the Nagara style. So let's talk about Nagara style. Now how it look like. See guys, already I have told you it is made in an upraised platform. So this is what your upraised platform. You can see here, this is your upraised platform. Perfect. So upraised platform is there. And then there are stairs to go to the top. And in that upraised platform, you will have prayer halls, which is known as mandaps. So there are mandaps, okay, that is a prayer hall. And then there are pillars also. You can see these are pillars which give strength to the temple. And then that curvy linear structure is what you call as shikhara. You can see the shikhara also there. And as I've told you, around deity, the sanctum and sanctorum, Garbhagriha, you will be finding the ambulatory passage. So you can see that circular passage is there. And then you will be seeing this as the amlak. That's where some religious symbol will be kept. Okay, so Kailash. So this is what actually you need to know. It's an upraised platform. Since it's an upraised platform, there will be stairs, and on top of that there will be prayer hall, which is called as mandap. There will be pillars, there will be deity which is kept, or the god. In that 1+4 style, there will be one main god, and then there will be 4 subsidiary god also, and then there will be ambulatory passage around the sanctum and sanctorum, Garbhagriha, where the deity is actually kept. Okay, and then shikhara, that is the curvy linear structure. So this is about the Nagara style. Let's look into the features. If you see the features, I hope this is very clear with you. Shikhara, it is there, which is a curvy linear tower on top of the flat roof. Okay, and then you have a covered ambulatory passage. Ambulatory passages in and around the sanctum and sanctorum, or the Garbhagriha, so that the followers can come and take a circle around the god. Okay, that's the objective. And Panchayatan style, I have already explained. There will be 5 god concept. The 5 gods will be placed, out of which 1 main god and then 4 subsidiary gods will be there. So that's how it is. And then absence of water tank. Why I'm specifying that is because when it comes to the South Indian architecture, absence of water tank is a feature, specific feature. So here in North India or in Nagara style, you see 95% absence of water tank. The exception is in the Solanki style in Gujarat. I'll be discussing about that later, where you will find some massive stepped water tanks, and then some kind of small deities and temples will be kept in that steps also. Okay, so and then the crucified ground plan, which you will see in Dravida also. Okay, so crucified ground plan. Now guys, variations I will be discussing later. In fact, I have done this discussion. Variation also I'll compare it together along with Odisha school, Chandela school and Solanki with Vijayanagar and the Nayaka style. So I'm not going to discuss that in this session. So let's quickly now go to the temple architecture in South India. So as we discussed already the North Indian temple architecture, we saw 3 stages. Here we will see 4 stages. And the 4 stages are actually named after the 4 rulers at that point of time. Okay, so if you see, the most important ruler was Mahendra Varma first during 600 AD, 6th century AD. Okay, so the temple architecture in South India is starting during 600 AD, during Mahendra Varman's period. So just remember one thing, guys. Now here it is going to start during Mahendra Varma time. That's the 6th century AD. Now North India, it flourished and it already going on during which period? Gupta period, right? So Gupta period came to an end by around 550 AD. So the temple architecture already started, 3 stages are over and flourished in North India already But in South India, it is going to start by 600 AD only. So which is the oldest architecture? If you see, it is North Indian. It's not South Indian. I have seen some of the books have wrongly mentioned about this, and if you have read anywhere, it is South Indian temple architecture is the oldest. No, that's not true. It is in North India. You can simply compare, right? It was in the Gupta period. Gupta period came to an end by 550 AD. And then here temple architecture is starting from Mahindravarman time. That comes from 600 AD only. So that itself will give you the clarity about this. So temple architecture, if you see, the oldest is North Indian style or the Nagara style. Perfect. That is something which you need to keep in mind, because I've seen this wrong information in some of the test series and some of the textbooks also. So 4 different stages named after 4 different rulers, like Mahindravarma stage, Narasimhan stage, Rajasimha stage, and then Nandivarman stage. So you can see here the first stage is like there will be a hill, and that hill, it will be cut and made a cave. So the first stage is nothing but a cave, and in that cave you will be keeping some idols and the images of the deity, and you don't call it as temple, rather you call it as mandap. No, don't be confused with the mandap that I have discussed before. That was the prayer hall. So here the entire structure, that is what known as mandap. Okay, now here this rock cut cave from the hill. So that's it, there is nothing more. That is the first stage, that is a Mahindravarman stage. And in the second stage, the very same cave, the same will be decorated, will be modified. So interior, you will be doing some kind of decoration like this, you will be doing some decorations, and exterior also you will be refined. Okay, so this kind of, some kind of structure will be given. So if you look into the first one, it is perfectly a cave, right, carved out in a hill. Second also, it is in the same area, but it got a look and feel of a temple. Though it's in this hill only, it's not in a plain area, it's not separately constructed, it is carved out from the hill, and it is a cave which is modified. But still, it got a look and feel of a temple for the first time. First it was cave, now it got that look and feel of a temple, like some kind of structure you got. That is the Narasimha stage, and they started calling this as Rathas. So example, Dharmaraj Rath and Draupadi Rath. Mahabalipuram. Mahabalipuram, another name is actually Mamalapuram. Okay, and the third stage you will be finding some structure like this. That is the Rajasimha stage, and this is separately built. That means you came out of the cave now, and it is in the plain area. A proper structure of the temple is made. It's in the plain area, separately constructed, not carving out a hill, not like a cave, not modifying or decorating a cave. No, it's a separate construction. So example, Shore temple and Kailashnath temple at Kanchipuram. Shore temple, Mahabalipuram, and then Kailashnath temple, that's Kanchipuram. Okay, now this start the beginning of Dravida style. If you compare, there you had only 3 stages. The third stage led to the development of Nagara style. Here we have 4 stages, and in that the third stage actually led to the development of Dravida style. Okay, now the fourth stage is just a flourish, a lot of small temples are actually came up. That is the Nandivarman stage. More and more number of small temples have come up in the fourth stage. Now, if you look into the Dravida style of temple architecture, I'll explain that with the help of a diagram, just like what we have done in case of Nagara style. So the diagram will goes like this. So you can see a big premise which is having a bigger boundary wall. So this is your boundary wall. Can you see that? The bigger boundary wall, outer boundary wall will be there. And this is bigger gateways, okay? And that is known as Gopuras. Gopuras. The gateways are called as Gopuras. And then there are prayer hall. Earlier, the prayer halls were called as mandaps. Here, this is the prayer hall. And then I've told you there will be presence of water tank in the temple, not in Nagara style. There's a specific feature of South Indian architecture, temple architecture, or the Dravida style. There will be water tanks, and that's for the rituals, performance of the rituals. And before that, you have to you have to clean up yourself, like washing your hands, and maybe you take bath also. So for that purpose, for the ritual purpose. Actually, the water tank is there. Okay, and then this is your sanctum and sanctorum, that is Garbhagriha. This one is your Garbhagriha, and you can see these 4 deities. Can you see these are 4 deities which are kept? So inside the Garbhagriha there will be the main god, main deity, and then near to that the 4 other subsidiary deities or the gods will be kept. So these are subsidiary shrines. And then there will be small passage. This is a small passage because you don't encourage people to enter. In South India, they don't allow you to enter. Okay, so that is what you call as antaral. That small passage. It's a small passage. And then a sculpture of Dwarpal is actually kept here. This is the sculpture of Dwarpal. You see the Nagara style, the sculpture of Midun, and then river Ganga, Yamuna, etc. were kept. Okay, so here sculpture of Dwarpal. Remember, here also they follow the Panchayatan style. Okay, don't forget that. In both cases, they follow Panchayatan style. So this top, you can see that is a pyramidal structure which is known as Vimana. Earlier in the Nagara style, you see that Shikhara, which is a curvilinear structure. Here it is Vimana and it is a pyramidal structure. There is no curve at all. It goes like this. It's a pyramidal structure. So Vimana, pyramidal structure in Dravida. In Nagara, it is Shikhara, which is a curvilinear structure. I'll show you this one separately also. So guys, I hope everything I've explained, these subsidiary shrines, antaral, sculptures of Dwarpal, Gopuras, prayer hall, water tank, boundary wall, Garbhagriha or the sanctum, sanctorum, Vimana. So this, I hope, is very, very clear to all of you. Okay, so if you compare, the Panchayatan style is there, which is common. And then what is common? Instead of Vimana, there it was Shikhara. And then the prayer hall, here there also prayer hall, which is known as Mandap. And the sculptures are kept here, which is of Dwarpal. There also the sculptures, which is of Mithun, river Ganga, Yamuna, etc. And ambulatory passages there, here also, there also. So these are things like, this is what the Vimana. So can you see this is exactly the pyramidal structure, and on top some kind of that symbol is also there. Okay, so this is a pyramidal structure. You won't find any curve at any part of this. Features, if you see Panchayatan style, that is a similarity. Crucified ground plan, which is also a similarity. In both you will find the crucified ground plan. And then water tank, which is again specific feature of South Indian style. And then outside boundary walls. Okay, this is again kept because you face threat from outsiders, so you can keep your things safely in the temple. So you keep a bigger outside boundary wall also. And then Vimana, which is pyramidal structure. Gopura, that is a gateway. Dwarpal sculpture. I think everything I've explained, right? Brihadeshwara temple, Tanjore. Okay, and then Ganga Konda, Cholapuram, which was developed by Rajendra first, who's a son of Rajaraja first. Rajaraja first developed that Brihadeshwara temple. Okay, so in 1011 AD. Okay, and then there will be Nadaraja sculpture. This is something. Now the sub-schools, that Vijayanagar Nayaka style, that I will be discussing along with the sub-schools of Nagara. Separately, I will cover that because I want to cover those 5 together. Like Odisha, Chandela, Solanki, Vijayanagar, Nayaka. And after that, I'll cover the other 2 forms which is left out. Apart from North Indian and South Indian, 2 other forms also left out. That will be covered in the next session. So I hope you understood, and I hope I gave a quick revision without wasting the time. Normally I used to write, so I think you may take a lot of time, right? But now today, unnecessarily we didn't waste time, and we have discussed a lot of information without wasting much time, as I have things already with my system. Okay, so guys, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, and see you soon in the next session. Thank you so much for watching, guys.